You are now live.
Good evening. It's 7:07. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the Township website. We are honored, as always, to have Dave Penna from the American Legion here. Please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I ask now for a respectful moment of silence for those who serve our country, both near and not so near. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Capides?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Here.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Here.
Committeeman Huber?
Present.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Present.
Thank you, everybody. Let's move on to proclamations and announcements. I would like to lead off tonight with a rather somber announcement. The Township of Springfield would like to extend their condolences to former committeewoman and former mayor Diane Stampoulis on the passing of her brother Robert Singora. Our condolences, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Veterans Day is Wednesday, November 11th, and there will be a ceremony at Veterans Park at 11 a.m. If attending, please adhere to the governor's guidelines, wear a mask, practice social distancing. All municipal offices will be closed on Veterans Day. As I said last meeting, and bears reminding again, Election Day is Tuesday, November 3rd. All active registered voters in Springfield should have automatically received a vote by mail ballot. Polling locations are open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. for provisional balloting only, except ADA compliant machines for disabled voters. You may also give your vote by mail ballot to a poll worker. The Springfield vote by mail drop box is behind Chisholm Community Center. It's ADA compliant. It's under 24/7 surveillance, and it's emptied every day by Union County election officials. We had the Halloween Spooktacular last weekend. I just want to congratulate Adam Lieb, Ricky Rajapi, Brendan O'Reilly for a great ceremony and a great event, especially under these conditions. We'd like to thank all the sponsors that were there to make it happen. It was really a great event. I think this was the third year in a row I got the honor of being a judge, along with Mike Scalera and others. It was always a good time. It was wonderful to see everybody out there in their costumes. And, it was just a really, really nice event. Speaking of Halloween, just another reminder, as I did last meeting, we are placing no restrictions on Halloween this year. It will go on. But as always, it's a voluntary basis. What does that mean? If you elect to give out candy, please turn your light on, and as they come, you can feel free to give out candy. If you do not want to give out candy, please have your light off. As always, trick-or-treaters, it's always an option. We ask that you be respectful. We ask that you wear masks. We ask that you social distance. Perhaps consider just staying in your own neighborhood. Finally, as far as Halloween goes, we are not going to close down Tooker Avenue. I know that's been a theme over the last couple of years, and I've certainly participated living right around the corner. But again, we just want to remind you, we are not going to close it down because we do not want to promote a large gathering of people. Obviously, I can't stop anybody from going on that street, but I just want to remind everyone, parking rules are in effect. Please be aware of pedestrians, especially now it's getting darker earlier. So if you are going to walk around at night, make sure you have glow sticks, reflective colors on your costume, perhaps maybe a jacket, just to let people know that you're walking around. Use the sidewalks, and again, let's just have a nice, fun, safe Halloween. Also, just a couple of things that are not on here. If you not have heard already, starting Monday, November 2nd, Springfield DMV, along with probably I think about a dozen others, are strictly going to be by appointment only. No walk-ins are allowed. to register for an appointment and also get more detailed information on what specifically you can do during your appointment, please check out njmvc.gov, njmvc.gov for more information. And finally, we do have a proclamation for this evening. This month is Mental Illness Awareness Month. And I offer the following: whereas mental health is part of overall health, with 1 in 5 adults experiencing a mental health problem in any given year, and approximately 1/2 of chronic mental illness beginning by age 14 and 3/4 by age 24. And whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States and the 2nd cause among young adults, and 90% of people who die by suicide have an underlying mental illness. And whereas long delays, sometimes decades, often occur between the time symptoms first appear and when individuals get help, and early identification and treatment can make a difference in successful management of mental illness and recovery. Whereas it is important to maintain mental health and learn the symptoms of mental illness in order to get help when it is needed. And whereas every citizen and community can make a difference in helping end the silence and stigma that far too long has surrounded mental illness and discouraged people from getting help. And whereas public education and civic activities can encourage mental health and help improve the lives of individuals and families affected by mental illness. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Christopher Capides, the mayor of the Township of Springfield, on behalf of the Township Committee, do hereby proclaim October as Mental Illness Awareness Month in the Township of Springfield in order to shine a light on mental illness and fight stigma, provide support, educate the public, and advocate for equal care. I just want to add a personal note as an educator. We are certainly in a very, could be a traumatic time. When we talk about students being taken away from something they're used to doing every day, and then add on top of that, the COVID-19 virus. Add to that, there might be family members or close friends that have been infected or perhaps even died from it. This is a lot from anyone to handle, from adolescents to young adults to older people. So certainly mental health, mental awareness, social experience is tough to come by these past couple of weeks and months. So it's always something that we need to make aware of. And I think it's more than appropriate to have Mental Illness Awareness Month this month. With that ends the proclamations and announcements. Does anyone have anything on the digital dais to share? Any of the Township Committee? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to move on to.
Wait a minute. I was going to wait for the police report and that. But now that we're changing the clocks back this week, I've gone past the high school around 5 o'clock, and people are not stopping at all when kids start crossing the street. I'd like to get a cop there and arrange for when the kids getting out of school, which says 3 o'clock or 2:45 for 15, 20 minutes. And then when the teams get out, 4:30, 5 o'clock, I don't know what time they get out. But I want to make sure, because it's going to be getting dark out, and I don't want anybody getting hit, because no one is stopping. Nobody. So, I mean, if we can, Chief, if we can do that, or park a car there with the lights on, so people will slow up and pay attention to the people crossing.
Well, you know what? That is a great idea, and I just want to let you know that within the last couple of days, they just started to do pedestrian awareness. We do have the digital sign out there on Mountain Avenue. We do have several officers up and down Mountain Avenue. I know for a fact, at just least today, there was I walked from my home on Henshaw Avenue to Town Hall. And I know that there was at least 3 cars pulled over on Mountain Avenue for I guess, I'm thinking traffic violations. So I think they're out there. And I think, Chief, I know this is kind of a little out of order, but if you wouldn't mind just taking about 30 seconds to talk about that just enforcement that you're doing right now.
Yeah, I just wanted a fact. I think we should do something for the kids, especially. You know, the high school. I know we do it at Walton. I think they do it at middle school, but Dayton just needs something there. You know.
Agreed.
Okay.
Chief, you want to just take 30 seconds, just explain what you've been doing the past couple of days? Chief, I don't know if you started talking, but you're on mute. Still nothing. You know, while you figure that out, I'm going to go on, and then maybe during the administrator's report, you can jump in with some comments.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, oh, I got you now. Perfect.
Okay. I'm using the phone, so I got a technical difficulties here.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, just real quick. We've been doing pedestrian crossing details, utilizing our class twos and some officers and grant monies, et cetera. Today is one of the details that you saw, Mr. Mayor. I know we had about 20 plus summonses issued today just with that one detail. And, you know, we've been cracking down on it again, Mr. Huber, with the times changing and it getting darker. We're certainly cracking down on it. And it's going to be a big thing with the night of Halloween as well. We're going to be out looking for not only pedestrian crossings, but for cell phone violations, et cetera. So we're going to, you know, really crack down on that stuff. You know, I agree with you. I always have as far as pedestrian safety. So we're all on it, and you'll probably see reflection in the numbers over the next several weeks.
Thanks, Chief. I know we went a little out of order there, but
Yeah.
more to follow. At this time, with no other proclamations, with no other announcements from the dais, I'd like to open up the meeting for public comment on agenda items only. If anyone from the public wishes to speak, I ask that you please use the Q&A or chat functions on Zoom to be recognized. And once you are recognized, please state your name and address for the record. We have first, Pooh, if you will, Jayani, if you could bring her up.
Hi, Chris. So I'm not sure if
Pardon, I'm sorry to interrupt you. My sincere apologies. I just need you to say your name and address for the
Okay.
record, please.
Sorry, Jayani Ellis, 38 Springbrook Road.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, it's quite all right.
Chris, I'm not sure if I should wait actually for this because I know you're doing another proclamation, so maybe I should wait till after. Sure.
Well, I don't think we're doing the proclamation today. I think what we're doing is we're going to be passing a resolution to have your event
Oh, okay.
later on. That's what we're doing tonight. That's what's scheduled to happen tonight.
All right. So maybe then at the next meeting, is that when the proclamation
Yes.
takes place?
Yes.
All right, so I just wanted to do a thank you to everybody involved, but I will wait till the next meeting and then say a little something then on behalf of the community.
Yes, and the reason we were going to do it for the next meeting is because pending approval tonight is Resolution 2020-261. Your event is November 14th, so we were going to do the resolution previous to that event at our next Township Committee meeting.
Okay, Chris. It's November 8th, by the way, but just so we make sure it's November 8th, Sunday is the event.
So, but it's Sunday the 8th, but the celebration of the festival is November 14th, correct?
No, Sunday the 8th is when we wanted it.
Okay. And I think that's
Sorry.
No, it must be a typo. It must be a typo in the resolution. But we can get that fixed during the meeting. That's not a problem.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I will enjoy the rest of the meeting. And when you do the proclamation next time, I'll just say a few words of thanks.
No problem. Thank you. And again,
Thank you, everyone.
we're very happy to do that. Again, we want to try to make ourselves and our community as inclusive as possible, and things like this. We're more than happy to celebrate and bring it to the community, and we're so glad that we can help you celebrate and recognize this holiday for sure, and the celebration for sure.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment? Okay, we have Alyssa. Alyssa, while they're unmuting your mic, if you could just state your name and address for the record, please.
Sure, thank you. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, Alyssa Zilberschlag, 17 Henshaw Avenue. I just wanted to ask the question then. I'm sorry, Linda, that we all missed the date on the resolution. The actual date of Diwali is November 14th, but we were hoping for November 8th. So because the next meeting is after that, like, how does that work?
Well, I mean, we could also present the resolution to you during the celebration, if you want to do that as well.
I just did the resolution actually proclaiming the celebration and the holiday.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay. So what do we need to do then to get it passed, or how does it work?
Well, a proclamation is not something that's passed. A proclamation is something that's proclaimed, that's stated.
Okay.
And I could certainly do that during your celebration that's scheduled for the 8th.
Okay, great.
But the resolution this evening is just to approve your event on the 8th.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, and we do hope that everyone will join us because
I'll be there.
yeah. Well, everybody. We want everyone to be there. So we do hope everyone can come and okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? Please use the chat or the Q&A function. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment portion on the agenda items only and move on to reports. And first up for the reports is the administrator's report. Mr. Basicolo, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. A couple of things that happened over the past couple of weeks I'd like to touch on, if I may. Roads currently under renovation. We have Washington, Woodside, Fernhill, Skylark, and Persimmon Way. We've completed all cement work, the ramps, the curbing, and the inlets. Weather permitting, we will be doing milling and paving next week on those. The storm damage that occurred on August 4th, we finished actually repairing 250 feet of sidewalk and curbing in 11 locations. We also had to replace 2 transfer switches at Marion and Treetop pumping stations. The last thing from DPW is leaf pickup. It will be starting on November 2nd, and that continues through December 31st. So make a note of that. We will post it on the website also. We were discussing reval, and I wanted to bring this up because I know some of our residents had a question. What we did is we called the state. We finally got somewhat of an answer out of them. They will grant us additional time should we need it. In the meantime, we decided that for now, we're going to put that on hold, the inspections on the interior, at least until the spring. We spoke to the reval company today, and we had a couple of I think, really good ideas. There's going to be 3 ways that we're proposing that you could handle the inspection on the inside of your home. First one is you can actually let somebody in to do it. The second is we're proposing a questionnaire. It'll be a 2-page questionnaire, be sent to the resident. They'll have to fill it out and send it back in. That will take care of the inside inspection. Or the last idea, which I think is a great one, we come up with how about doing a remote, just like we're doing on Zoom. What would happen is a resident would make an appointment with the reval company, phone in with your FaceTime, and just take directions, walk around with your phone, show them the kitchen, show them the bathroom, and you're done. If the resident doesn't choose either of those 3, just so you know, it will be noted that they didn't do one of them. And the downside with that is 2 things. You then they will assign a value without getting into the house, either virtually or by the questionnaire. The second thing is if you appeal it, it would note it that you did not participate. So it's to your advantage to do one of those 3 things. So we will get further information on as time goes along. But again, we're not going to start that probably at least until April. We're looking at that time frame. We figured let's get past the winter first. So hopefully that eases some concern. Rich, you look like you're going to say something.
The only thing that we talked about, John and I, today was, I know my wife and I work. How about like Saturdays, if they'll do it on a Saturday?
I'm sure on the FaceTime, we certainly can do it in evening or Saturdays. We can arrange that with the reval company. And if there's no
John, I just have one. Is that what's going around statewide right now? Is that how it's anybody that's got a reval? Is that what's going on with everybody?
No, not necessarily, but we just thought that since people are becoming so comfortable doing doctor's appointments on Zoom, all the meetings are on Zoom, it just, to me, made perfect sense to do the same thing with the reval if it's something you're comfortable with. You don't have to leave your house.
No, it does.
In 10 minutes, you're done. So
I think it's absolutely great. Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. Going on to our tax department, I want to just touch on a couple of things. The deadline for filing for the senior freeze has been extended to December 31st. The original deadline was November 2nd. The tax sale for the prior year has been rescheduled for November 16th at 8 a.m. And the last thing is fourth quarter taxes are due November 1st. The last day for payment without penalty is November 10th. And the boxes outside of town hall, you can drop them off or you can call us. One of us even can come out and grab it and run it back inside. Just a note from our zoning department, which I thought was quite interesting. Since the last storm, we've had 20 standby generator applications brought into our building department. So people are trying to make their own way since we've had some issues, obviously, there. Now, I want to just touch on our redevelopment, what's going on. I think everybody has seen the property at Charlie Larkin's, which is across the street on Morris Avenue at Church Mall. Charlie's now got the second floor is not only framed, but it's sheathed, and he's onto framing the roof out. He's also put some more stone cladding on the side in the front of the building. He's moving along at a very good pace. The Gomes property, which is across the street between Center and Caldwell, I don't know if anybody noticed on Monday, but they poured the front wall along Morris Avenue. What they're going to do is they're going to wait after that sets, they'll remove the forms, and then they'll start on Center Street. After that's done, they're going to try to hold Caldwell to be the last wall because we're going to have to probably close the sidewalk. So we're trying to hold that off until the end. Saks, there's nothing yet on that. We have to wait until the 45-day period is up in case someone should appeal. At that point, Saks then will come in for a permit and the building will be demolished. And that's kind of a thumbnail update of what's going on at the redevelopment. Does anyone have any questions on anything?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Basicolo. And again, nice job on just having all our bases covered and keeping with the developers. And now that, these developments are really moving now, we appreciate the updates and keeping everybody on task with all the I's dotted and the T's crossed.
It's always a lot of fun, Mr. Mayor.
Moving on now to the bid. Mr. Scalera, how are you doing this evening?
Doing great as usual. I don't have my smiley mask on, but all is good. I have to say, we had our meeting today, and just to give you a quick run through, every time a new business or a prospective new business opens up in the area, I go out and meet them personally. I met with Mr. Handyman. That's on Morris Avenue. Very professional company. They should be coming around the corner, getting the building approved and starting business. Actually, they're doing business, but they're just not operating out of the building. So Mr. Handyman, we have Halo Roasters. They're on Mountain Avenue. The area would be by TD Pizza and everything. Really looking forward to having them because people really want a coffee shop in the area. Studio 107 is a barbershop. It took over the one across the street from there by the Shell station. So again, as they come in, I do meet with them. I am meeting with on a monthly with the chambers, the local chambers in the area, And we're trying to set up also, actually, I'm trying to set up a local bid meeting or SID with the local bid SIDs in the area to see what's going on in regards to redevelopment and ideas for marketing. Also, so we met with this morning, we discussed streetscape. So we're looking to extend, we'll probably do it more towards the spring. All you guys know where Wolf, the little location by the Shell station where the billboard is, where our lovely mayor has taken over. Great shot of him. And right next door to it, so we're looking to extend the streetscape on that end of it. Where little, I think it's Little Cuts and Hammer Dental is there. So we're looking to possibly get that done sometime in March. They're happy to hear that. We just missed them and everything. We also reached out to Robbie. Thank you, Robbie. And I know you're on the phone today. We really want to make this holiday season spectacular. So we have money set aside that we're going to decorate Springfield. More or less on the streetscape area side, we will go to Moore's area, but we have monies set aside specifically to make, whether it be with flower pots, lighting. We really want to make, when people come into Springfield from a visual standpoint, see the eye-catching holiday spirit. So we're working with Robbie right now in regards to it. Hopefully we can get this really rocking and rolling sometime in the middle of November. But that's really a goal of ours, just to make Springfield shine. So really excited about that. We had an open spot on our board. We filled it as of yesterday. My co-chair, Scott Seidel, and Beth Littman, our executive chair, met with Mark Montanaro of Autoland. And he was voted in today to fill in the vacant spot on our board. So we had a lengthy conversation with Mark. He's heavily involved. I mean, I know he's got Autoland, but to see how he's involved behind the scenes in regards to helping philanthropic organizations outside. So it really is building an asset to the bid. And I think we're really gonna shine with Mark as part of the board. So we did congratulate him today, and he will start in a month on the board for the bid. We're also, from a marketing standpoint, we're going to restart the gift certificate program. It was very successful in August, where a resident or somebody goes into one of the restaurants, purchases a $25 gift certificate for $15. That's going to be, I think, November 15th. We're going to send it out on our Facebook page. And if you haven't been on our Facebook page, you really need to go on it, because everything that's going on from a redevelopment standpoint, marketing standpoint, or anything going on with the bid is put on our Springfield Bid, BID, NJ. So we will be doing the gift certificate program. And again, you go in there, you purchase for $15, you get a $25 gift certificate. And then we're really pushing it for the holiday seasons to support the businesses in Springfield. Other than that, we're looking to do a grant program where we give $1,000 or $1,500 to a local business, more the mom and pop style. They apply for an application, and we give them $1,000 towards. Right now, we're looking for ventilation units that go into like restaurants, and it clears out the air from any COVID air entering the air system. So we're trying to be creative, ways to help them out. Also, I know Adam, with the Festival of Lights, is coming up December 2nd. We want to support them. I know Adam, he did such a great job with the spectacular event. Again, thank you, Mayor, for being a great judge, and Adam and all your team for doing it. It was really a lot of fun, but it was kept simple, easy, with separation and everything. And again, I can't thank you again, but again, December 2nd, and Adam can confirm that. Lastly, on my end, I have I reached out to TGIF Fridays, and if somebody has a cause, they're looking to donate 20%. Oh, that's cute. 20% of their sales to a specific cause. So I'm a member of the Rotary. We're looking to do something where we can raise money for something. So if you want, reach out to me, Mike at mikescalera.com, or call me. And I can we can do they could do a night where they'll donate 20% of their sales to a specific cause. So other than that, I think that's it for me.
Thank you, Mike. Please pardon the brief cameo by my son. It's pretty close to bedtime here at the Capides house. But I just wanted to let you know that I did read on social media, Hallow Roadsters started doing their publicity. I believe that October 31st is going to be their grand opening on Halloween. And so
Thank you.
I just wanted to put that plug in. And yes, thank you very much for bringing up the billboard. I alerted Chief Cook that there might be a influx of accidents at the corner of Henshaw and Mountain because Michelle is much prettier than I am. Does anyone have any questions?
If you see a mustache on there, it wasn't for me.
I'm surprised I haven't seen anything yet. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Scalera? Okay, moving on. Let's go to our finance report. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the payroll and invoices for the period of October 14th through October 27th, 2020 in the amount of $931,724.61. It is lower than expected. I was thinking $1 million there.
I will second that.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Kaiser,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber,
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois,
Yes.
Committeeman Hughes,
See,
Mayor Capides.
Yes. We have the September pool budget, the September revenue report, and the September current budget report. I asked that be received and filed. On to new business. We have one ordinance for second reading. Madam Clerk, can you please read this ordinance by title?
Yes, ordinance 2020-25. This ordinance extends the effective period of ordinance 2020-24, which authorizes restaurants to establish and operate approved temporary dining areas during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Do I have a motion?
Rich. He's on mute.
You got it?
He's on mute. He's got it.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, you got it.
All right. As read by Mr. Mayor, as read by Madam Clerk, 2025 ordinance. Publication of local source on October 29th, 2020.
I will second.
Thank you. At this time, is there any public comment on ordinance 2025? If you'd like to comment on this ordinance, please use the Q&A portion of the Zoom app to make yourself known, and please say your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment portion of ordinance 2020-25. Any discussion up here? This is, again, I think Mr. Basicolo mentioned it in his report, and also last month. This is just the extension of our outdoor dining to take place up until April.
But they have to file for a permission to do it. Am I correct, John?
Yeah, nothing changes, Rich. And also at the time, if they're looking for heat, the fire department would have to be involved, and snow load if they're a tent. So yeah, there are some caveats there, but it just, in case the weather stays good, just gives them an opportunity to stay open longer.
But we go out and inspect it before we let them serve it outside after whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Oh, smart.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Huber,
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser,
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Capides.
Yes. We are going to now move on to consent agenda. For the record, I'm going to pull 2020-258. Again, I'm going to pull, I'm sorry. We are going to.
That's correct.
Is that pull? Is that the correct terminology? I mean, we usually say pull when we want to discuss something, but we're taking it off entirely. Did I use
You're
the correct
you're looking
terminology?
to table that one, correct, Mayor?
Table, yes.
Oh,
We're going to table it. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dowd. I appreciate it. So we're going to do this by consent agenda for these resolutions. If you would like one pulled, please let me know. Resolution 2020-255, 256, 257, 259, 260, 261, 262, 263, 264, 265, 266, 267, 268, 269, 270, 271, 272. Do I have a motion?
Okay, I will make a motion to adopt the following resolutions on consent agenda. Resolution 2020-255 through Resolution 2020-257, and then repick it up, Resolution 220-59 through Resolution 2020-272.
Do I have a second?
I will
I'll
second.
second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Kaiser,
Yes.
I heard Deputy Mayor Weber,
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois,
Yes, ma'am.
Committeeman Huber,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Kappas.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
Just as a point of order too, I'd just like to point a couple of things out for the general public. Included in the resolutions that we just passed this evening was 268. It was an agreement with PSE&G for them to use our parking lot for a temporary staging area. Again, we are charging them for the use of this lot, just again to create more revenue for our benefit and our revenue. And also 271 and 272. We extended our contract with for both recycling and solid waste for 1 year with the garbage companies that we currently use. Again, this is not a renegotiation. This was just an extension. Same price, same services, but we figured that with this move, it's better than going out and shopping around to perhaps cost more. We just decided it would be prudent at this point just to extend it a year, keeping the same payment. Moving on to discussion and action items. We have a correspondence from Cranford Ordinance 2020-11 to amend code chapter 225 land development. It's the final. I asked that be received and filed. And finally, now we are at the public comment portion of our meeting on any governmental issue. If anyone from the public wishes to speak on any governmental issue, I ask that you use the Q&A portion of the Zoom to be recognized. State your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak on any governmental issue. And I know Alyssa has a question and I will get that information to you right after the meeting. Not a problem. Does anyone else wish to speak? Yeah, we have a couple. Okay. Okay, let's go to Alyssa, please. Alyssa, I know you spoke before, but if you can, just say your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Alyssa Zilberschlag, 17 Henshaw Avenue. I wanted to just ask the question. I'm very concerned about the electricity in our town. And today I was running a training that was going from 9 to 12. And at 11 o'clock, we lost power on a beautiful day outside. So I'm very concerned about this. We also lost power for 5 days in September. I know we all live here, so it's terrible for all of us. My question for you as a township committee is, what are you doing about this? This is unacceptable. And it feels like it's almost like only our town. I have relatives and friends in other towns, and they lose their power, but they they get it back and they don't lose it as regularly and for the extended amount of time that we do. And so my question to the committee is, what are you doing about this? It's horrible.
Well, first and
I want to,
foremost,
can I just comment on one part of it?
Sure.
Obviously we all pretty much experienced the same thing. I was teaching from home today. My power went out. It was not just our town. It was multiple towns that went out at the same time for that length of time. And I know living here, we all feel like it's only us experiencing these power outages. But as a committee person, we get the emails from JCP&L when the power goes out in other towns, even when it's not here. And it does happen in other towns similarly to ours. I'm not defending them by any stretch, but just it is frequent in other places as well. So I don't know what the answer is, but it does happen. I get frequent emails for surrounding towns that JCP&L covers that they have power outages when sometimes we don't. And again, it's not always the weather. I don't know what the answer is, but it does happen more frequently in other places than people might realize.
It just feels like we are not a priority as a town, and it feels like we're always at the bottom of the list. And I was actually, and I'm not going to go into details, but I had actually just gotten out of the hospital in September, and I came home for my first night and we had no power, and then it was for 5 days, and I had to go and stay with somebody because I couldn't live like I was recovering from something. And so I mean, I'm just saying this is
yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
No. It's more than that. It's just hard. It's 2020. Now I know 2020 is not the greatest year, but it is 2020, and it feels like we are not up to par for what the year is. And I know that there were other people who wanted to speak about this. So I'm going to stop talking because other people I know wanted to speak about this, know more about it. But I am hoping that there could be some sort of a solution to this problem. And I think that I've talked to people who are in the industry, and there are possible solutions. And I'm wondering what you're doing.
Well, just to answer more specifically about what we are doing, and again, I want to echo what Erica had said as well. My wife was in the middle of working from home. My kids were online doing virtual learning. This was across the entire town. Now, those are not excuses. I'm sure that's just the fact of the matter. Just a little bit about what we were doing. I have been on touch on a regular basis with Assemblyman Bradnick and Senator Kane's office about this, asking them to advocate on our behalf. I know that we have sent letters to both Assembly and the legislator in New Jersey about this issue. We have sent letters to our federal government about this. We have had a relationship with JCP&L. I've been on the phone with the president, and to be honest with you, I have said those exact words, that we are not a priority. When you do an ice and water station and say that there's an ice and water station going to be provided and they have no clue, that's not good. When you automatically put out an email that says we're going to continue to shut down your power for non-payment during a storm, that's not good. When you continue to not fix things that haven't been fixed since the last storm, like pumping stations and things getting flooded out so they can't work on grids, that's not good. And then as furtherance, I've said to them that their infrastructure is so outdated that when we actually went to the Board of Public Utilities to try to change utility companies to get somebody like PSE&G, nobody wanted to take it over because our grid was so outdated. What I will say is that we have been in contact with our representative, and she is planning on coming next month to speak to the public, public. And I've done this, and I've said this at much distress to her, because we as a township committee are tired of speaking for JCP&L. And I think it's high time for JCP&L to come to speak on their own behalf. So we are going to have a meeting with them next month. So that's just giving you a little glimpse of what we're doing, kind of the broad strokes. But, we're all residents up here. We all are frustrated. We all are upset. and we're trying to do everything that we can to rectify the problem. And your support. And if you have any suggestions, as you alluded to, in terms of there are things that we can do, we're all for it. We're all for hearing the suggestions, and we're all for getting as many voices as we can to reach out to our representatives to urge them to help fix this issue. And we appreciate your time.
Hey, can I add something to that real quick?
Sure.
Just some inside information for anybody that doesn't know. So my power goes out. Let's just say, I don't remember what time. What time was it? 9, 10 o'clock, something like that. 10 o'clock.
Like 11.
All right. So I'm within seconds. Well, I go down, I check my house. Nobody has power. Within seconds, I'm getting messaged and so on. I would say I was on the phone with John and Chris within 2 to 3 minutes of power going out, and they were already on the phone reaching out to JCP&L. So just to say what the other two have said, we're trying everything we can to get this handled for us. It affects every one of us. Nobody likes it, but they were on the phone, trying to get answers within 3 minutes. So we're trying. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Barry Klein. If you could just unmute them, Apu, be much appreciated.
Hey there. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, just for the record, if you could just state your name and address.
Sure. Barry Klein, 291 Northview Terrace.
Thank you.
Yeah, Alyssa sort of, I guess she sort of set me up a little bit here. I was going to talk about a similar topic. I know I was on the call a few weeks ago, so thanks for taking my question again. The outages, like Alyssa said, and like you guys were saying, they've become too common. We all got knocked off today. The kids got knocked off. The work. It just reminded me again, it's not just this one thing. I understand sometimes there's a car accident, there's something that happens to the wires on a one-off, but you don't get the benefit of the doubt when you have like extended outages over several, three times over the last 10 years, every 3 years. And you guys did put me in, Mayor Capitis did put me in touch with the representative from First Energy, from JCP&L.
Mm-hmm.
I gained no confidence that we will not have to deal with another week-long forget about these hour-long outages, week-long outages every 3 years into the future. And their representative confirmed it. So, I mean, going to the representative and having her come in, she'll tell us all the good stuff that they're doing. She's basically going to tell us all the good stuff that they're doing and all the money they're spending. Like, it's baloney. Like, she can't do anything. She has no impact. Like, really, we're talking about a company. Like, this company is not trustworthy. This is a company, I don't know if you've seen the news, they spent $60 million bribing officials in Ohio to get legislation passed. They are not trustworthy people. I think we should go around, and maybe this person is, but she doesn't have any pull in this multi-billion-dollar corporation. What I would think, and Mayor Capitis, Mayor Du Bois, you're right. Like, the other towns are having the same impact as we are. Instead of going individually to state legislators or going and trying to write a letter or call, why don't we team up? Like, a representative from each of the township, this would be my suggestion because you were looking for suggestions. There should be a representative from each township or each township council for all the towns that are represented, that are serviced by JCP&L, and that will get the state's attention. If you all come in, almost like a union, we'll come in and we'll all come in there, and you'll have every township that's under JCP&L will demand an audience with the president of the BPU, will demand an audience with the governor, leading state legislators. I can't imagine that they're going to turn you down for a meeting when you have several of their jurisdictions who are coming together and saying this is unacceptable. And it's embarrassing that you go to the BPU. They should be embarrassed that they said nobody wants to take your system because it's too old and it's crumbling. Like, that's a sign. Like, the people at the state level are talking about you want offshore wind, you want renewables, you want to electrify the state, you want to get off natural gas, all this other stuff. It only works if you could actually get the power to the people. So if the grid doesn't work, then all these plans, it doesn't matter. So that I think like that's the first step. We need to form a group. You know, all these other cities around us are having the same problem. Great, let's work with them. Go to the state, because the person coming from JCP&L is just going to talk about all the good that they're doing and why they're the good guys. Really, there needs to be more spending.
Can I chirp in on that for a second?
One of the
Yeah, John, if you can fill them in a little bit, we were actually contacted for that exact idea right now, and that's actually being formed by those towns right now. John, do you have more details on that or no?
Christian, I can fill you in on it. I know you talked to the representative that asked if you would be on that committee. So I haven't heard anything further. We can certainly call and follow up and see where they are. But I know that you were in touch directly with the head of that committee.
And the only other thing,
I was in touch with them. I honestly have not heard back from him in the last, I don't know what it's been, a week and a half, 2 weeks. It hasn't been a whole long time. So I know something like this doesn't get organized instantly, but okay. Yeah, I have been in touch with them, but I'm still waiting on some info, but that is being worked on.
I'll call them tomorrow.
and in these calls, and I've personally spoken to mayors as far down as Point Pleasant on these mayors calls with the president of JCP&L. And I've told them, we don't want numbers. We don't want pre-operational stuff that you're going to say before a storm. We want results. We want restoration times. We want the information that's vital to our residents, not the good PR stuff that you're talking about. And that's one of the questions that we're going to ask when she comes here. Like, we don't want to hear, when the rubber meets the road, the only thing that residents want to know about is how long it's going to take to get the power back. And if they can't address that, then that's an issue. And that's something that we drove home with them several times.
Right.
And I just want to let you know, and I'm sorry, but I want to be fair to everybody, and your 3 minutes has expired. So I can't let it, but come back next meeting. I appreciate your participation, and I appreciate you willing to step up. And certainly if we need to start a dialogue offline to continue the efforts with JCP&L, I'd love to have you as part of the team. I appreciate it.
Happy to be part of it, and sorry for being so emotional, obviously. I just want to stay on the radar. I just want the issue, things get in the rear view. I just want it to stay on the radar.
No, and they are. And we were on the phone with our person today, our representative today, me and Mr. Basicolo, and we were like, give us something here. We need to share something with the public, because right now we have nothing, and we end up being JCP&L's voice, and that's a tough spot to be in, and we appreciate your advocacy. Our next person is Barbara R. Barbara, please state your name and address for the record, please. Barbara, are you there? You need to unmute. Okay, Barbara has a
Mr. Mayor, are you still there? It seems that you're frozen.
I think he's not there.
JCP&L took him out.
The Russians.
I don't even.
You're nasty. You must be a Jet fan.
Bitter.
I would recommend that we
Jets
wait about another minute and see if the mayor can get back on.
And if,
Why, meeting's going good without him.
There he is. There he is. He's back.
I don't see him.
You're muted, Mr. Mayor.
You're muted.
Ms. Rappaport had a question about when is the JCP&L meeting, and I've said that's next month. As far as the bid goes, I know that their bid questions are ongoing. I wasn't exactly sure of the second part of that with the bid. It was unclear to me. And unfortunately, since I got kicked out and back in, I can't tell what that question. Oh, again, the bid project is an issue. I'm not exactly sure what you're alluding to with the bid project, but I'm sure if you reach out to Mike Scalera, email him or give him a call, I'm sure he could fill you in on that. Or we can give you a call tomorrow if you put your number in the chat, and we can connect the two of you so you can get your question answered. I just can't tell. I can't tell. It needs to be clarified a little bit. But the meeting with JCP&L is going to be in November.
I would probably defer to John when they say the bid project. It's been passed over, and John is very, intuitive of what's going on with the project. So I'm assuming that she's referring to one of the projects that are going on, that she has a specific issue.
Yeah, it wasn't the question on my end wasn't clear. I just didn't specify what project. But also before the meeting, I know Alyssa Zybelshag wanted your email address. I'm gonna put you in touch. Anyone else?
She reached out to me already. Thank you.
Oh, good. Okay. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? I don't see anyone. So I am going to now close. I'm going to close.
I got something.
The public. I know. I will. I just want to officially close the public portion of the meeting. And anyone up here, Deputy Mayor Weber.
Yeah, I just want to bring this up, and this is in reference to. This isn't. Give me 1 second. Let me get the number. This is in reference to 2020-259. Trending across the country, thoughts on police are varied throughout different states and everything else. I said it 2 years ago when I got up there, I think at the first meeting, I said, you'll have one of the most police-friendly committees you will ever see in the Township of Springfield. Mm-hmm. We have one of the best chiefs. We have one of the best command staffs and some of the best department officers, men and women in the state. These people need to be staffed and working, and any help we can give them, such as class 2s. I'm always for that because, holiday season is coming also right now. And I know there's going to be influx of questions about who went through my car last night, and keep the cars locked, let the guys patrol the streets, keep the cars off the streets from 2 to 6, makes it easier when the officers are in patrol. There's no strange cars on the street, gives them the ability to cover more territory in a shorter period of time. So I just want to, contrary to what other departments or townships are doing, we will do everything possible to keep our police department, going along at full capacity and as strong as they can be. So that's all I wanted to add to that.
I appreciate that, Deputy Mayor. And I just want to add, and I want to say this very lightly and but I do want to make a plea. If there are residents that are in our town that see wrongdoing, that see an issue, that see a problem, that see something that shouldn't really be going on, the biggest and best thing you could do is call the police. If you see something going on that shouldn't be, if you see something suspicious, if you see something that happens in our town that shouldn't be done, the biggest and best thing that you could ever do is making your call to the police the first move. And that's just piggybacking what Deputy Mayor Weber said. We have an awesome police staff. We have police, fire, OEM, first aid. We have an excellent group of first responders. And that should be your biggest and best phone call that you could ever make, is to any one of those auspices. Anyone else have anything to say? Committeeman Kaiser, please.
We're 1 week away from a pretty big election. And
Yes.
I think you know I think the public and everyone knows where I stand on this, but I just want to encourage everybody to make sure to vote. It's the only way to make your voice be heard, and we're 1 week away, and we'll see what happens. But
Absolutely.
vote.
Yes.
Vote.
Excellent. Anyone else? Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn? Oh, Chief Cook, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for your words and also reiterate to call us first. I mean, sometimes I'll get calls secondhand. Residents will call somebody else outside the police department, and it kind of wastes time. If you call us directly, there's no matter that's too small. We know how to deal. We've dealt with. There's nothing you can call us about that we probably haven't dealt with already. So don't never feel bad about calling us direct. You get the most immediate response. Sometimes things are very time sensitive, and by the time a call comes through me instead of going directly to the police desk, we've lost some valuable time. So please do not ever hesitate to call. And if you get any issues with the way you're dealt with, then contact me directly, and I will take care of that. We're very proud of the professionalism that we have here, and again, thank you for your support.
Nope. Thank you for the work, man. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you very much, everyone. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a second?
Second.
Wow, you beat out Rich. Oh, no.
I was waiting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Everybody, thank you very much.